Dave and Rebecca's new home was in the picturesque hamlet of Tegryn, Pembrokeshire. It was a world away from their semi near Birmingham. Dave had taken a year off work to do the build, and the family had already survived their first winter in a tiny caravan on site. Designer and architect George Clark followed their progress.
One of the main reasons why you must have picked this place is location. I mean, this is beautiful. And you're from here, aren't you?
I'm from about 20 miles up the coast, near Newquay, so I've always wanted to come back.
So why Wales? I mean, why did you make that big move?
I was always into sort of coming over to Wales. I mean, I met Becca 10 years ago and I cycled over from Birmingham to Wales. I mean, I've always loved it in the countryside. It's just got everything. I mean, we think it's healthier. You know, we're half an hour away from the beach, so you can't really complain about that.
So what kind of world are you escaping from?
City, really, isn't it? You're escaping from the traffic, you know, the hustle and bustle.
Sitting on the A45 for 45 minutes instead of driving around Pembrokeshire.
The sheer amount of concrete.
So how long have you had this dream for?
10 years.
Yeah, ever since we met, really, I suppose. We've always wanted to live down here.
After 10 years of dreaming, Dave and Rebecca had found an amazing property with an acre of land that sat in its own wooded glade. Originally a village hall, the barn was completely derelict.
That is beautiful, isn't it? That's fantastic.
It's impressive, isn't it?
Needs a little bit of work.
A little bit.
Tell me, why did you go for this house? What made you?
Well, we were actually lost, weren't we, travelling around, and we just braked hard,
place.
saw this place, and I think it's just the quality of the building, the slate arches. It's just so pretty, so quaint looking.
If you don't mind me asking, how much did you pay for it?
108,000.
108. Well, shall we take a look inside?
Yeah, definitely.
I really want to see it. Come on, let's go.
The barn might have looked like a wreck, but Dave and Rebecca had been hard at work for the last 6 months. So far, all they'd done was rip stuff out.
Wow, look at this. So you've basically got a L-shaped plan, isn't it?
Yes.
It's quite elegant.
Yeah.
This needs a lot of work.
It does.
So do you want to run through the layout with me, just roughly what you envisage doing with the place?
This will be the living room.
So your living room comes all the way through here to this back wall, and then you're saying it might just turn around that corner a little.
Another wall just slightly indented there, I think.
Okay.
Dave and Rebecca wanted to transform the barn into a beautiful rustic family home and keep as much of its original character as possible. They were going to use natural materials throughout to give a traditional country look. The ground floor would be left as a huge L-shaped kitchen living room. Upstairs would be the main bathroom. And off a light-filled corridor, there would be 3 bedrooms for the kids. Beyond them, the spacious master bedroom would have a high vaulted ceiling and uninterrupted views across the Pembrokeshire countryside. Part of the dream was to get a great home without a huge mortgage so they could afford a quieter life. Dave and Rebecca borrowed £100,000 to buy the property. They wanted to spend as little as possible on the conversion.
So the crunch for me is, because it looks like there's a lot of work in there, as well as out here, is the budget. So when you sold your place in Birmingham, how much money did you take away with you?
We walked away with 36,000, didn't we? 8,000 then we had to put towards buying this place. So that was straight down to 28,000.
Right.
I mean, initially getting set up here with a static caravan probably blew away another 2,500. So that's at 25 and a half. Yes.
And is that your fixed budget now?
That was it when we started.
How much have you got left?
No.
I don't know.
I'd say about 12,000.
I just don't know.
Kidding? Are you winding me up?
No.
You've got 12 grand? To finish that barn? 12 grand.
The thing is, what else could we do?
Well, we knew we wouldn't have enough money and we wouldn't have bought it if we'd looked at how much money we didn't have. So
we wouldn't have entered into this if we'd looked at the facts, you know, quite cold and clinically. We've got no choice, we have to continue.
But with no building experience and such a small budget, this was going to be a massive challenge.
Well, it's taken us 10 years, really, to get close to doing something like this. It would be terrible if we couldn't actually follow through on it.
It had been 6 months since Dave and Rebecca Palfrey and their 2 kids left the hustle and bustle of Birmingham to pursue their dream of living in rural Wales. Dave had taken a year off work to convert this derelict barn into their family home.
Give me a kiss.
Their only income was from Rebecca's part-time job as a speech therapist.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Bye. Bye.
Come and have a little rest.
During the week, Dave was a house husband, looking after 2-year-old Tom and 4-year-old Ellie in their caravan on site.
I can certainly guarantee that I get nothing done in the daytime while I've got the children. They require full-time attention. You know, even when I've just got Tom, really, there's just no time to actually do anything. At the very most, you'd achieve, you know, 1 phone call or something.
Spending more time with the kids was all part of Dave's dream. But the build was progressing slowly. So far, he had installed mains water and gas and ripped out the interior walls and floors. But this work cost much more than Dave expected, leaving them with just £12,000 of their original budget.
We knew we didn't have enough money when we started, really, but we didn't realise it would run out quite this quickly. We've had big chunks go out for connecting water, and sewerage has to be pumped, which we didn't anticipate.
Dave was optimistic the remaining money would get them into the barn, but with doors and windows to fit, the electrics and plumbing to install, and a leaky roof to patch, it was a tall order. Dave's next job was to lay 200 square metres of new floorboards. It was a mammoth task, but Dave wanted to do everything on this build himself.
I just get absorbed in the work, and that I just like to see the progress. As long as I'm doing that and I feel like I'm making progress, I stay motivated.
The barn was a labour of love for Dave, but juggling the build with childcare meant he was averaging less than 20 boards a day. Still, 3 weeks later, the floorboards were in, and Dave went straight on to the electrics, an even more specialised job.
I wouldn't say I'm absolutely 100% confident, and then if you get a final check, you know, before we use it properly, then you know, you're safe. I can't see why you wouldn't be safe, really. Touch wood.
After installing the electrics and floorboards, Dave was left with just £8,000 of his budget. It was barely enough to build a conservatory, let alone tackle a whole derelict barn. This have-a-go attitude was all very well, but Dave and Rebecca's finances were looking desperate. Their new life in Wales was in jeopardy, and only a miracle could keep them going. And at the end of June, that's exactly what they got.
Now, Dave, tell me, you've been thrown an absolute lifeline.
I mean, it's only because we've worked on the garden and cleared it, which is something most people wouldn't do given the amount of work we've got to do on the barn. But we've been in there sort of just clearing it to get the place established. And in clearing it, it suddenly looks huge. A local bloke's come up to us and said, "Would you sell me that bit of ground down there?" And I said, "Oh, what for?" You know, he said, "Well, it's a potential plot." Yeah.
So you could actually put a house on there?
Yes.
How much is that land worth now without planning?
I mean, probably about £1,000 if you were lucky and somebody wanted it. Obviously, with a permission, I think you're looking at least 50,000 sort of thing.
£50,000?
Yeah, unbelievable.
But that's incredible. So when you bought this barn, you didn't have a clue that potentially you've got a piece of land as part of that land worth 50,000 quid.
That's right. Yeah.
If you get planning.
Yeah, if we get planning.
It was an amazing development, but it all hung on getting planning permission for the plot. One of their reasons for moving to Wales was to become part of the community, so Dave and Rebecca took a day off from the build to help at the village fair.
We wanted to move to a small village because we wanted to move somewhere where we'd know all the people that lived within our community, and we've definitely got that here. We're getting to know a lot of the people, and we didn't have much of that where we were. We knew our immediate neighbours, but nobody else really.
If we can actually get here in our house, you know, with the environment, with the schools, with the community spirit, we've got everything we want really, and I get a sense of comfort in that for the children. Are you just watching, Tom? Do you want some water?
Dave and Rebecca were enjoying their new life in Wales, but 2 months came and went, and there was still no decision from the planning office about the plot. Rebecca's income of £1,100 a month wasn't enough to live on, and each day that passed, their living costs were eating further and further into their meagre savings. With just £5,000 left, their future hung in the balance once again.
But it seems like week by week, there's a huge challenge for you.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you keep your enthusiasm there when that's happening every single week?
Dave's quite good at doing that. He'll just get on with it, and he switches off from everything else. He'll just get on with the job, and he'll just keep going as long as I feed him.
Do you not think people might think you're quite naive? All that financial risk, all the building work being done by Dave with no experience.
I don't know that we're naive, because I think we've looked at the possible consequences and decided that we'll take the risk anyway. We didn't think that we'd buy it and everything would be fine. We thought we'd buy it and hopefully we'd finish it and not have to sell it.
And if this planning approval comes through, it's all fine, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll be very lucky if the planning approval comes through. We didn't know that was there when we bought it. So really that would save us. I mean, if it doesn't come through, we're in the situation, you know, the worst case scenario that we thought we'd risk, which would be selling it probably.
With so little money left and so much to do, even the ever-optimistic Dave was beginning to worry.
Well, it's taken us 10 years, really, to get close to doing something like this. It would be terrible if we couldn't actually, you know, follow through on it and be sitting here in a settee and have the whole place out like we've been imagining it, and be a great shame, really.
Money was so tight they couldn't afford to buy any materials, and work on the barn ground to a halt. Desperate to break the deadlock, Dave decided to apply for a loan. It would increase their debt, but also give them a fighting chance of saving their dream.
We're applying for £20,000, and we hope that we'll be able to do some major things on the barn. I mean, if we can do that, we're well on our way to getting the place sorted out. Yeah, fantastic. They've given us the loan, amazingly. So we've got some money at last. They put the money straight into the account, so we've got the whole £20,000 there.
So you've got this £20,000 loan. Can you afford the repayments on that?
Well, not at the moment in terms of month by month. We're probably using some of the loan to meet the repayments.
Really?
But it's because really we need the time. So if we're working all the time to pay the loan off, we're not getting the barn done. So we're trying to just get a happy medium where there's enough time to do the barn and we're kind of just about meeting the repayments.
But have you budgeted what you're going to spend that money on?
Well, we hope that it will cover the main costs of getting the place contained, get the roof done, get the doors and windows sorted out, get the ground floor done. I mean, look, some things are unknown. You know, the cost of the doors and windows. I mean, quotes vary. You know, and we haven't pinpointed exactly what we're going to have to pay yet for the window, and that's going to be a big expense.
Surely you've got to pin down exactly how much you're going to spend to get this building wind and watertight.
Yeah, I think I could. I mean, we have really, haven't we, listed the what we think are the main expenses.
So when you sat down with your little list and priced everything out, what did it come to?
18,000,
something
was
like
it?
that, wasn't
Something
it?
like that, but obviously that's going to be less than it really does come to.
I mean, all the way along, it's the fact we've tried to put ourselves in a position where we've got a fighting chance with hard work. You know, that's what we've tried to do, isn't it? So we've still got a fighting chance of it working.
You have just got a fighting chance, but
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever met anyone that's cut it this fine before. You couldn't cut it finer than that. I mean, there's no tolerance here, and I'm not sure whether I'm really accounting for your inexperience as well.
Dave and Rebecca were hoping the loan would get them into the barn by the end of November. As they were using the loan to pay off the loan, speed was of the essence. First, Dave began fixing the leaky roof. But again, he was doing the work himself instead of bringing in the professionals. He got a few pointers from the guy who was delivering the roof tiles.
The idea is that this slate rib goes under the slate until it locates these nails. Hopefully either cuts them or it drags them out by hitting this sort of slate rib. There's a nail. And then this one, this strap here, is going to go down into that back between the two slates. Put the tape back over. How's that?
Lovely, perfect.
Half an hour later, and Dave was a fully fledged roofer.
It feels great to get some progress, you know, just to work at it and just see things moving again. And we've only got about 8 weeks now before probably the weather will turn, and we're quite high up here, so it'll get pretty damp. And we need to contain the whole building, really. The roof obviously being a main part of it.
Dave worked into the night and got the job done. At least the roof was on, but there was still a lot of work to do. The couple desperately needed planning permission for their half-acre plot of land. Their application went in 3 long months ago, but at last they heard back from the planning office. Their entire future rested on the decision. Rebecca hot-footed it to the council offices for the verdict.
We can't think of any reason why we shouldn't get it. But then you think, well, we don't really know what the ins and outs of why they grant planning permission, so I don't know. Yeah, I'd like to know either way. Fed up of waiting. At least if we know we're not having it, then we can plan for not having it. And if we do get it, then it'll be even better, really.
I'm feeling very nervous. It just, it just transformed my existence, really, getting the plot. It's just like, been like winning the pools.
Rebecca promised Dave she wouldn't open the letter until she got home.
Well, you can see through it, but I've resisted the temptation to read through the paper.
If we don't get it, I think, well, we have to sell it, really. We have to sell the barn. And no choice. You got it? Big, isn't it? That is good or bad? You read it.
Hold that.
Thanks.
Ooh. Outline planning permission has been granted. There you go.
Fantastic. Saved.
There you go.
Saved.
Good.
Brilliant. Well done.
Treading on my foot.
Just feel numb, don't you? Really weird.
Yeah, strange.
This was a huge potential windfall for Dave and Rebecca. Desperate for the money, they called in an estate agent to get the plot valued. Dave was hoping it was worth £50,000.
Hello, Philip.
Hello, David. How are you again?
Not too bad. How are you? You all right?
Not too bad, thanks.
Nice to be good.
Nice to see you again.
What do you think?
Value-wise, I mean, you know yourself, the plots aren't, you know, they're few and far between. So I think realistically, you could be looking at anywhere from 90 to 110.
Blimey, that's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. That is a lot. Wow. So if we put it on the market, tied it up, put it on the market, how would it be quick selling, or would it take months and months?
It shouldn't take months and months, David, because they are so few and far between. I reckon you'd sell it fairly quickly.
Great. Yeah, good news. Well, that's great. Thanks for that. You cheered me up.
Pleasure. Pleasure.
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, I just can't. I can't believe those two figures I've just heard. Really, I can't believe he said 90 to 110. Just completely shocked me. I'm gobsmacked. And what was it? 10 months ago, we bought the barn with a 100,000 mortgage, and the plot could pay that off in theory. I mean, if we got £100,000, completely transform our existence. I don't get it. It's amazing.
It was great news, but without a sale and the money in the bank, nothing had changed. And the next few months were going to test this couple to the limit.
But it could turn into a nightmare, so that's what I'm afraid of. Or you could, end up going right down about it, and that's just not something we can do.
The bedroom for the visitors here, Ellie, and then your bedroom is going to be right up the other end.
Rebecca and Dave Palfrey were trying to turn this wrecked barn near the South Wales coast into a family home. Dave was forging ahead, spending the last £5,000 of their budget so they could move in by the end of the month. To make the barn livable, he needed to lay the concrete slab on the ground floor.
A little bit apprehensive about the concrete going in, but and I wish I didn't have this last bit of last-minute preparation to do. But should be nice when the concrete slab goes in.
It was another DIY first for Dave. To ensure all went smoothly, Dave's father-in-law and best friend were on hand to help out.
What, Jerry? What's that end bit? Is that can't see the end. Are we the most amateurish people you've seen?
But Dave's inexperience meant he'd forgotten to weigh down the wooden planks that ensured the concrete stayed level.
I don't think whether it will level or not.
With no way to fix a level, Dave was in danger of ending up with a sloping floor.
I think my welly is a bit too big for me.
I think because it's quite wet, the wood floated up. The wood we wanted to level it with floated up a bit. So as soon as any concrete got underneath, obviously the levels were all wrong.
To avoid having to dig it all out and start again, Dave was trying to level the floor by hand.
That's gone up in the air a bit, is it?
It was a race against time to get it level before the concrete set. It was touch and go, but it looked like Dave might have just got away with it.
It looks good. I think it'll be nice to walk on there at that height, because it is actually the proper floor, isn't it? Superb.
The build was progressing, but there was bad news about the plot. After just a couple of viewings, there was a dramatic slowdown in the property market.
The housing market is plummeting. New figures today showed that house prices in September dropped for the third month in a row.
Days turned to weeks, and interest in the plot dried up completely. With no sale in sight, Dave was rapidly running out of money. In desperation, he stopped work on the ground floor. He decided to focus the last £4,000 of his budget on making the upstairs habitable.
So Dave, what's your plans going to be for repair?
It'll be open plan, apart from a small section. I mean, over here, I think what we'll do is actually do a compartment. Yeah, just there with the toilet, sink and bath.
So as basic as it is,
yeah,
with, your toilet, your sink, your bath down the end,
yeah,
your entire open plan living,
yeah,
a couple of windows in.
Yeah. Be good, wouldn't it?
It's quite a lot to do, though. I mean, when's that going to be done for?
Well, we hope at the latest, a couple of weeks before Christmas. We might get in here and think, goodness, what have we done?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, we might do that. It's awful. But
and if you come and have a look down here, right?
Yeah.
From that doorway, all the way through here, round to here, you've got to do all the lime rendering on all the walls. You've got to sort all the windows out. You've got to get some plumbing in and a toilet. You've got to get yourself somewhere to cook. That's still quite a lot to do.
The best we can do, as always, is just to work as hard as we can, try to achieve that.
So the pressure's back on, isn't it? You've got to make this place habitable for the kids by Christmas.
Yeah.
To have a chance of meeting his new deadline, Dave needed doors and windows. He paid a professional to install them.
And with a bit of luck and dedication, it's going to go.
Of course, I'll wait until Mark's on before I tell him, and I'll pretend that I did it. Hey, that's nice, isn't it? Lovely.
The windows fitted perfectly, and they went in just a few hours.
I mean, seeing the windows in now and having that door at the end, I mean, getting more natural light through that door just makes you another step closer to seeing it as livable.
Dave was as upbeat as ever, but the carpenter was not so confident the barn would be ready by Christmas.
Obviously, putting the windows and doors in the top part has made a big impact, and obviously closed it in for him to sort of carry on the next stages. But he has got a lot of work to do, and whether he'll manage it all, I don't know.
It was now the end of November. If Dave was to get in by Christmas, he had to install heating and sanitation. He also needed to plaster the interior walls to insulate the building. But instead of a conventional plaster, he was using lime render. It would give Dave the rustic look he was after, but this traditional material took 3 times as long to apply and cost twice as much to buy. And they only had £3,000 left. 3 days later, and Dave had made little progress. His refusal to compromise was beginning to jeopardise the build.
I hadn't really allowed for such a time-consuming job. I'm beginning to think, how long is this actually going to take? Can we still get in for Christmas? That's the thing.
But in the run-up to Christmas, there was dramatic news for the couple that changed everything.
Yes, we've got some good news. We've got Becca's pregnant again, hopefully for the last time. But it's good. I mean, it's nice to have 3 children, sort of thing. Obviously, we've got a lot on our plate at the moment, but we're hoping things will pull together by the time this one comes along, and it's due June the 12th.
Yes.
But we're both excited about it. Ellie's excited about it.
Do you want another baby, Ellie?
It was great news, but all thoughts of moving into the barn had now been put on hold.
I don't want the hassle of moving at the moment, particularly, because I don't feel particularly healthy at the moment. So in a way, I'd rather stay here because I feel sick and various things that you do when you're pregnant, so I'd rather wait a little while anyway.
Dave and Rebecca were resigned to Christmas in the caravan. This build had been a real slog for the couple, and they were nowhere near completion. But still, Dave's optimism kept them going, albeit slowly.
But it could turn into a nightmare, so that's what I'm afraid of. Or you could, end up going right down about it, and that's just not something we can do. It just wouldn't help, and we haven't got the time to do that.
By the beginning of February, Dave had finally finished the lime rendering. He was now busy installing the roof lights on the first floor, but the barn still had no heating or sanitation. With just £2,000 of the budget left and a plot no closer to selling, the build was close to collapse. Dave and Rebecca took a dramatic step to save their dream. Using the plot as collateral, they secured a £50,000 loan. Dave had taken a huge financial gamble to get them into the barn in 8 weeks before their baby was born. But he was still doing all the work himself. To hit this optimistic deadline, Dave needed help.
Just recap the financial situation. You've got a mortgage of how much?
100,000.
100,000. You then took out a loan, didn't you?
A loan of 20,000.
Of 20,000.
Yeah.
You've got 120,000 pounds worth of borrowing. You've now got another loan of 50,000 pounds on top.
Yeah.
So you're quite heavily steeped in debt, aren't you?
Well, we are. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
What's really admirable is that you've taken on all the work yourself. You've set yourself the challenge of building this entire place on your own.
Yeah.
But that's why it's taken so long, and that's why you've run out of money. How are you going to do it differently to get this place finished in 8 weeks?
Well, speed-wise, I mean, I think we've saved a lot of money doing it ourselves, but I mean, speed-wise, I think we might have to get some help to do it. It depends. I mean, this has got to be habitable and comfortable. We don't want to make doing it.
Yeah.
It won't be pristine, I don't think, by the time the baby comes, but we've got to have a kitchen, a bathroom, and no messy jobs left to do.
Oh, it's got to function, hasn't it?
It's got to function as a house, yeah, rather than a shed at the moment, that sort of thing.
So, at last, you've realised you need some help, Dave.
Well, I still don't know yet whether I need some. yeah. I mean,
come on, 8 weeks left. 8 weeks left. All this work to do.
Yeah.
You need help.
I think if we want to get it done in 8 weeks, we're probably going to need some extra help. Yeah.
Good.
At long last, David realised that he couldn't finish this project alone, and suddenly the build sprang into life. Dave paid a firm to install the underfloor heating and hired a team of carpenters to put in the staircase and the remaining doors and windows. The loan had secured their home for now, but Dave and Rebecca were mortgaged up to the hilt. Unless they could clear some of that debt, they would struggle to meet the repayments, and their dream life could be over before it had even started. Eight weeks later, George returned to see if the couple had realised their dream.
Hello.
Hi, Dave.
You all right?
Hi, Rebecca. How are you? Good to see you. You well?
Yes, thank you.
2 months ago, the ground floor of the barn was an empty shell. It had now been transformed into a rustic, open-plan kitchen living room.
This is just a huge transformation for me, because I never thought that I'd see this kitchen here, to be honest, not for a long, long time.
We've just gone non-stop at it, haven't we, since Christmas, really. It's just been mad. I mean, I've had one day off. Just desperate to get in here and to get out the caravan. It's gone from a shed to a home, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah.
Oh, your bedroom.
Yeah.
Our room, yeah.
This is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is great. This is actually quite a romantic room, isn't it?
I love it. Yeah. Well, it's just how we imagined, isn't it?
Yeah.
We got our bits of furniture in. We couldn't resist once we got the space, putting them in place, and then we thought, wait a minute, let's just try and go for it, get in here.
So you're going to start using it?
Yeah, tonight, hopefully.
Tonight? Tonight's going to be your first night
we're just
in your
really
new
fed
home.
up of being in the caravan, so...
More than anything, it's an excitement about
we'd
getting
go
in here,
for it
isn't
and move in, yeah. It's not quite finished, but...
Rebecca was right. There was still a lot to do, from decorating the rough lime plaster to finishing the ceilings. With their baby due in just 2 weeks, Dave had transformed a building site into a home in the nick of time. The upstairs was still open plan, but after a year and a half in the caravan, it was luxury for the kids. Throughout, Dave's perfectionism shone through. But this couple took on a mountain of debt to get the barn this far. To finish it, they now had to sell the plot they'd had on the market for 5 months.
So how much did this project cost?
Well, we reckon round about 65,000.
That's 3 times your original budget, isn't it? What's the news with the plot?
Well, we've had a couple of people interested, and one of them has offered us 75 for it.
£75,000? Well, that's fantastic news,
So,
isn't it?
I mean, yeah, it's unbelievable, really.
So the money from that plot will obviously clear the debt that you borrowed to do the build. Will it also reduce your mortgage?
Yeah, but I mean, it'll put us in a position where we can afford the mortgage that we've got.
Which is amazing news, because you did really, really overstretch yourself and commit a lot of money. Well, you were under massive financial pressure, and that plot is an incredible windfall.
Dave and Rebecca had a unique and charming home. And when the sale of the plot went through, it would seem they could also look forward to the simple lifestyle they'd always wanted.
What does the future now hold for you?
Potentially holds what we hoped it would hold, you know, a good family existence, some time with the kids, you know, on a regular basis.
It really has come together. It's incredible, then.
Shocking, isn't it?
3 years on, we've returned to see if the Palfreys have achieved the life they've always dreamed of, and if they can actually afford to stay in the home they've so lovingly restored.
It's been a tough couple of years. We're in quite a poor position financially. It's quite a fragile situation.
3 years ago, Dave and Rebecca Palfrey sold their suburban home near Birmingham and moved to a remote corner of South Wales with their young children Ellie and Tom.
Not that fast.
Now they've got a new addition to the family, 2-year-old Tegryn. So how has rustic life near the Pembrokeshire coast turned out for them?
This is completely different, you know, it's just, it's nice to get away from all the traffic, hustle and bustle, isn't it? And we just have a far more relaxing existence down here.
It's really nice for me to come back here because I grew up around here, and it's nice to be able to take the children down the same places that I used to go to when I was little. Now the seaside is a regular thing for them rather than just coming down on holiday like we used to.
I like going on my surfboard and climbing rocks.
When we left them 3 years ago, the house was far from finished. The beams were still exposed, the lime plaster wasn't decorated, and upstairs was still open plan. Dividing walls have now been added upstairs to give the children their own characterful bedrooms. And the rest of the house is now a comfortable and cosy home.
I feel great about the whole house, and I feel proud of the fact, that we've done most of the work ourselves, and I think the kids appreciate that as well, which is nice.
I think it gives the children a good perspective that they think they could do it if they wanted to. Tom will say, oh, my daddy built my house. So he's obviously got the perspective that he could do that if he wanted to, which is probably good, especially in this day and age with houses costing so much.
I think it's good because Daddy made the house. It's got big rooms in it. I like living in this house.
Although inside the barn is complete, outside it's still a work in progress. Dave is busy laying the foundations for a garage, but as with the rest of the build, he's got no idea how much it's going to cost.
I actually haven't looked at the figures. It should be a fairly cheap construction because planning want corrugated metal framework, so it should be as cheap as it could be.
One of the reasons this couple moved to the country was to get a great home without huge debts, so they could spend more time with their children. But they had to borrow £53,000 to get the barn finished.
If you look at it financially, we've been idiots. Really?
We knew at the time we couldn't afford it. We knew it would cost more than we had. We didn't bother to look into how much more it would cost.
But they finally sold the plot of land next to the house to a developer for £75,000 and so were able to pay back the loans.
Without that, we never would have got this in anywhere near habitable position, you know. So we're very lucky the way it unravelled. Bye-bye. See you later.
Financially, though, they're still under pressure. Their £100,000 mortgage remains, and Rebecca's part-time job as a speech therapist has to cover all their outgoings.
My salary pays the mortgage, the loans, the food, the cars, everything. So sometimes it's a bit of a worry.
Although former teacher Dave has been lucky to have spent quality time at home with the children for the last 3 years, it's come at a price. He's now got to find work so they can afford to stay in the property.
If I got a job, it would just take the worry out of it, really, because we don't want to be spending our days worrying. We want to concentrate on the kids and stuff, you know, see if we can get a little bit more security, all the better.
But for now, the Palfreys are happy to enjoy the country life.
Everyone tends to know each other.
It's a really nice small village here, so you get quite a good community feel.
And to give their children the upbringing they wanted for them.
Our kids have got a very healthy environment, fantastic school set up.
I think it was definitely worth doing what we've done. It's been hard work, but then we've got a lot out of it.
Our life here is dreamlike compared to our lifestyle back in the city. I don't think at this point in time we could ask for more.
Dave and Rebecca took on this project knowing they could fail, but the gamble has nearly paid off. Although they're not yet out of the woods financially, they've built themselves a home with immense character and set themselves up for the lifestyle they've always dreamed of.